right, everyone, so this is my school space for the 2018-2019 school year. It's up here in our loft still, so if you saw last year's video, it's the same space. And a lot of it is the same as last year, but I have added a couple of things, specifically our new school desk. So I will show you just kind of a quick little tour of a few of the new things. You'll want to go back to my other video from last year for specifics and where I got different things if you're interested in that. But a couple of things I did rearrange. So let's just walk over here and I will show you some of the things I have. I still have our weather station the same. I did add on the side over here today, tomorrow, and yesterday so that we can kind of touch on those. I did it a little bit with my preschoolers last year, but I wanted to do it more. So I just wrote those on some paper and had like a little background paper that I put on there and stuff. So anyway, that's my days of the week, the weather, and then I also drew that little seasons chart. So we talk about the seasons and that sort of thing. I still have my whiteboard, which I really love. We do a helper of the day. Sorry, I'm trying to get my talking hand here. I like to do a helper of the day with my students, my preschoolers when they come through. I rotate my own children through here, and when they're the helper of the day, they get to do the calendar and the weather and that sort of stuff. So anyway, so that's kind of a fun thing. This is the same that I had last year, and I've organized it similar. So here in this blue box, I just have, these are large flashcards, I guess you could call them, of the letters. Down here I have activity, like little wiggle activities, and the kids rotate through these during our preschool day and during just our regular school day with my homeschool kids. And then I also store in here, these are the little whatever weather things for our weather chart. Where are this side? Oh, these are just more of those activity cards. In here, this is the students' writing folders. So I like to put all of their writing work in here that they take home. So we have that. These are our penmanship or handwriting folders that the kids keep here. So this is for like worksheets and stuff that they take home. I also do this with my own child, even though she doesn't like go to and from home. She lives here, obviously. I still give her a folder just so that she can have one. Anyway, I store that here. These are their interactive notebooks that we will be doing again for preschool. So I have that. And then this is her writing folders. I will go ahead and do a video that will talk about my preschool curriculum for my student. My preschooler now, she is a 3-year-old, so she'll be doing preschool for a couple of years here, and I'll just go ahead and chat about that in another video if you're interested in knowing what I've planned for her. These are all of my teacher's manuals for mostly my first grader. I have my teaching lesson planner, and then this is just from some curriculum stuff that we've purchased, 5 in a row, some math workbooks. This is the social studies stuff that we're going to be doing. My maps are in here. So anyways, just kind of an organized file for that. Down here I have, this box is just my toddler distraction box. So it has a myriad of just toys and things to keep my young one busy when I start circle time. These are some thinking mats that I got last year, and they're just a quick activity to grab when I have a little bit of time before we start our writing centers. If I have some extra time, we like to just kind of play those games. I have loads of whiteboards because I do have preschoolers come into my home, so I just keep them all here. There are some in the box that came as a set, and then I purchased a couple extra ones at the dollar store. This is just a whiteboard, magnetic whiteboard, and there's some geo pieces in there. And then on the bottom, these are more activities for my toddler while we are having school time. So I just have some board books and some puzzles that he can do there. Next to this whatever shelf unit, then I have this is our library box. So when we go to the library, it's empty now, but I put all of our library books in there, and the kids just know that's where they go. This is our monster, and he eats different numbers and letters. Right now there are numbers, so we just play different games with him and whatever he's going to eat. And back behind there, this is where I store our, that's just a folder that I have all of our calendaring pieces in. So our themed numbers that'll go on the calendar. Like for September, I have apples, and October are pumpkins and that sort of thing. And then I also keep this right here because when the kids are the helper of the day, then they like to point. These are all of our charts. I can use it in my video. Look at that. So I have our class rules. This is pertinent mostly for my preschool kids, but it also is for my own children. When we have our homeschool, we like to talk about our rules, numbers, vowels, yada, yada, yada. The kids just like to point to them. And then I also intentionally put this clock down low because I like to teach my preschoolers time, as well as all of my other kids, like my first grader that I have now. This table here is typically moved over into the center of the room. I have several of these sized tables for when I have lots of preschoolers in my home, but when it's just my own, we push it off to the side here. And I have chairs so that my kids can color or draw or do their schoolwork or whatever. This is our addition to our school year this year. I didn't have this last year, so I've purchased this desk from IKEA, and the chair came from IKEA as well. And then I got the cork board from Walmart. I'm gonna put this down because I feel like I'm gonna be pointing with it for a while. Let me get a little closer. I'll show you some stuff. So on the cork board, we will be putting vocabulary words or posters or things that we're studying, just as like a visual constant reminder. So we are doing, as you can see, this is the Space Science unit from The Good and the Beautiful. So I've got that set up and ready to go. Off to the side here, we have our scriptures. We're studying the New Testament this year. So he has his Bible here so that we can open it easily. This is going to be his binder work, is what I'm calling it. And it has all of his subjects and all of the pages that he needs to complete in a week in here. I will be doing a video on how I'm going to organize my first graders' schoolwork and school year, so that if you're interested on a deeper look into this binder and this caddy, then you'll want to head over to that video. But for time, I'm just going to kind of breeze through here. So in this caddy are all of our loose pages. So I have his science journal, his spelling notebook, just some lap books that we're working on. His writing paper is in here. This is his log book, or his checklist that he completes. His social studies is in here. This is his coloring book that he's doing right now since school hasn't technically started. He likes to sit here. I have crayons and highlighters and pencils in this little caddy here. These are these twistable crayons. It is the first year he has twistable crayons, so he feels really kind of grown up and fun. And I made this whole like hoorah about, oh, the preschoolers don't get twistable crayons, so he feels really awesome about that. I also have this timer here. It's an alarm clock, so that during certain activities I can set an alarm and say, you will do this for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, and he can identify it with the time. But I'm thinking about getting like an actual school timer as well, so we'll kind of see how that goes. But anyway, this is just my regular school desk. I like that we have the Big Mac as well that I can use. We often show school videos or whatever on that, and it's big enough that lots of people can see it, but not so large that I have to like stick it on a wall or whatever. So anyway, that's, oh, and then I also have this little school desk. This is just an antique desk that I got from my grandfather, well, my husband's grandfather, and we like to do it because it's just, sometimes students like to sit there, and it's like a special chair where kids can sit. So anyway, oh, there's my son. Hello. So here is the overview of my video again, just so that you can kind of see. I didn't mention I do have these green spots on the floor here, and some are folded in the corner on this side. And these are just spots that we have for circle time or our group learning time. I will sit kind of in the front of the calendar there, and the students will sit on the spots. Either if I have the school kids, then we have circle time there, but when it's just my children, I still have them sit on the spot, and we will have our group learning time, and I can then write stuff up on the whiteboard over here. I have other manipulatives. I have small whiteboards kind of behind, you can't really see it, but behind the calendar in there. I have just like flashcards and stuff in the calendar little pockets. So anyway, it's just like a group learning space over there. So anyway, this is our schoolroom for this year. Again, there wasn't a lot of changes from last year, but it's a little more organized, and we did add our little school desk for an official first grade. So I'm excited about that. Other than that, hopefully we'll see you in another video. Have a good one.